The Machiavellian art of controlled betrayal. The modern world may speak of unbreakable vows and sacred bonds, but the brutal, persistent truth remains what it has always been. As the Afrobeat artist Emidel once stated with chilling clarity, people are only loyal to their own needs. That single sentence shatters the beautiful illusion of unconditional devotion. It confirms the cold calculus understood by strategists for centuries. Loyalty is not a virtue, it is a transaction. It is the most beautiful lie and the most dangerous vulnerability a leader can possess. Niccolò Machiavelli taught that when a man swears fidelity, he is not pledging his soul to you. He is pledging his presence to the benefits you provide. The moment your usefulness fades, the bond dissolves like smoke. Betrayal is rarely an emotional act of malice. It is a clinical act of recalibration. To survive in the unforgiving theater of power, one must move beyond the naive hope of being loved and adopt the cold discipline of observation. This is the story of how the ruthless secure their reign, not by winning loyalty, but by managing self-interest, using the very tools of devotion to forge an iron shield against treachery. The 7 silent warnings of the serpent. Betrayal is a slow venom. It does not announce itself with a trumpet blast. It manifests in subtle shifts that the naive dismiss as coincidence. The Machiavellian mind, however, sees these tremors as proof of a collapsing foundation. Beware the following signs, for they are the silent declarations of imminent defection. Transactional loyalty. The alliance thrives only in the presence of profit, status, or protection. When you cease to be a stepping stone, they cease to be your ally. Loud words, quiet hands. The one who speaks loudest of loyalty is often compensating for the emptiness of their commitment. They promise support but vanish when action requires risk. The hedging of bets. They keep 1 foot inside your court and 1 foot outside, maintaining critical distance and backup alliances, preparing for an escape route rather than a siege defense. Surveillance, not support. They study your weaknesses not to protect you but to catalog vulnerabilities. Their interest peaks when you are failing, gathering intelligence for future leverage. The vanishing act. Their presence evaporates the moment your value is depleted. They are ghosts during your hardship and resurface only during your triumph. Conditional respect. Their warmth is contingent on your obedience. They treat your boundaries as an insult and punish non-compliance with coldness, using kindness as a leash. The silence of the coward. When your name is dragged through the mud, their silence is deafening. Neutrality during a conflict is the coward's betrayal. They choose self-preservation over your defense. These are the shadows behind the vow, and their consequences are best understood by examining a historical masterpiece of strategic cruelty. The historical masterpiece, Cesare Borgia and Ramiro di Orco. The challenge facing Cesare Borgia in the early 16th century Romagna region of Italy was immense. The territory was consumed by banditry and chaos. To conquer and stabilize it, Borgia needed an agent capable of crushing the anarchy swiftly and without mercy, a necessary but loathsome task that would generate massive public hatred. He found his agent in Ramiro di Orco, a Spanish mercenary captain known for his chilling efficiency and cruelty. Borgia appointed Dorco as his lieutenant, granting him absolute power to govern the province and restore order by any means necessary. This act was Borgia's first strategic move. He guaranteed Dorco's loyalty by offering him immense utility, sign 1. Dorco's devotion was not to Borgia himself, but to the power and wealth Borgia provided. Under Dorco's brutal hand, order was restored through summary executions, confiscations, and terror. Borgia deliberately allowed Dorco's actions to expose the truth of his ruthless nature, sign 2, ensuring that all the resulting public fear and resentment were directed solely at the lieutenant. While Dorco was allowed to believe he was an independent force, Borgia strategically kept control of the true military forces, maintaining his own exit strategy, sign 3. Once the desired outcome, stability, was achieved, Dorco's utility was maximized and his liability, the public hatred, had reached its peak. The time for the betrayal had arrived. Borgia summarily dismissed Dorco and had him arrested. The next morning, Dorco's body was discovered cut in half in the town square of Cesena. Borgia had executed Dorco the moment he was no longer useful, sign 5. By eliminating the tyrant, Borgia simultaneously secured the political stability Dorco had enforced and purged the public's hatred. He framed the murder not as an assassination, but as an act of justice, exchanging the populace's fear for their conditional gratitude and respect, sign 6. This demonstrated that the Machiavellian ruler manages self-interest. He uses the ambitious, concentrates the hatred on them, and then sacrifices them to earn the love of the people. Modern application, the corporate butcher. This historical maneuver is constantly repeated in modern corporate environments, often without bloodshed, but with the same cold calculation. Consider the scenario where Sarah, the head of strategy at Omnitech, needed to integrate a hostile, outdated division while avoiding the political cost of mass layoffs. Sarah needed to gut the division, eliminating incompetence and resistance without damaging her own reputation. Her solution was to hire David, a notoriously ruthless external consultant, as the modern-day Dorco. David was offered a massive short-term contract with bonuses tied to aggressive metrics, such as a 40% workforce reduction. His loyalty was entirely transactional, sign 1, aligning his self-interest with Sarah's goal of destruction. Sarah publicly positioned David as an external necessity, deliberately neglecting to defend him, ensuring he absorbed all the corporate hatred while she remained politically untouched. David was given absolute authority, isolating him and attaching all resentment to his name, sign 6. Over 6 months, David fulfilled his function, successfully breaking the division's resistance. But his usefulness was now complete, and his liability as the universally hated butcher was critical. Sarah terminated David's contract abruptly, citing a misalignment of company values and a failure to maintain employee morale. She called an all-hands meeting, expressing deep regret for the brutal methods used and promising a return to a people-first culture. She took no blame. She simply removed the toxic element the moment he was no longer useful, sign 5. The employees, grateful for David's removal, instantly viewed Sarah as their savior. In this way, Sarah successfully integrated the new division and consolidated her power by outsourcing the betrayal, securing her own loyalty by publicly sacrificing the man whose transactional loyalty she had purchased. It proves that the Machiavellian principle remains timeless. The wise leader never bears the cost of a necessary, unpopular action. He finds someone else to pay the price.
Savages emerging, hungry for power, don't be. They claim they're flawless. Humans never look to others to cover. Survival's hard.